Hello everyone. I'm not sure if I'd ever make this video, mainly because I tend to suck at keeping to a schedule. I should have made this video 6 months ago now, from when I'm recording this. And life just kind of got in the way, and then I let it fall by the wayside. I didn't put in the effort to do this. And I was watching a video recently by a YouTuber by the name of Fat Brett. Great name. Great name. It's a great video analysis. It's about Brock from God of War Ragnarok. And a point he focuses on is a line in the game by Brock. And the line is, it's not the form of a thing that matters, it's the nature of a thing. And the form of this thing doesn't matter. The nature of it, though, was a way for me to get out my thoughts as a kind of therapy at the end of the day. Because, well, don't really have friends to talk about with this stuff. Everyone's busy, you're adults, you got your own lives. It's the process of growing up. You don't have as much time to spend on things like this. And that's even if you have the mental capacity and motivation, positive thinking. But I'm here now because the nature of this thing was to talk through my feelings, and I feel like I need to talk through some feelings, and while these might not be the feelings I need to talk through, they're still feelings. So, without further ado, let's get started. I am going to be talking about some spoilers here, so you've been warned. If you don't want any spoilers for Invincible Season 2, leave now. Click off the video, don't come back unless you've seen it. So, just the general thoughts on Season 2. It's a great season. It's very faithful to the comic, and it was a great time, and the show continued to have great stakes, just like the first season. So, and where Season 1 made a few changes to the timeline, still keeping within the comics, but Season 1 cut out quite a bit of the getting started stuff that happened in Season 1, that happened in the comics, the start of the comics. It skipped over a couple of minor plot threads that really don't matter, that would mainly just mark kind of getting used to being a hero, changed around the timeline of a few things. I believe at the start of the comics in Invincible, Mark is either only just finishing his second last year of high school, he's only just starting it, whereas in the show, I believe he's about halfway through his last year of high school, at least in Season 1. Maybe I'm misremembering, I won't lie, I haven't watched Season 1 in a bit, but I do remember that they messed with the timeline a little bit. But still, Season 2 is still very faithful to the comics, which is great to see. Second thing I want to talk about is Amber, because from Season 1 to Season 2, Amber changed, frankly, quite a bit. Her personality kind of mellowed out, and yeah, her character's definitely different from Season 1. Definitely, and I think that's in result to the backlash that there was around Amber's character in Season 1, which I'm not going to talk about here, but I've realized I put a typo here. She's back to her character in the movies. That's incorrect. She's back to her character in the comics. Season 2, Amber is much more faithful to the comics than Season 1. Season 2, Amber is the comics Amber. Season 1, Amber wasn't. And, well, you can see that change, because her character is clearly had a bit of a change. Is that a bad thing? No. I'm glad they kind of went back to the way she was in the comics. As much as Amber in the comics is very much a minor character, she had a role to play, and then she was kind of forgotten about in the comics. She'd show up every now and then, just in a couple of panels, but otherwise, once her story with Mark is done, like it has kind of come to the end with here in season 2, we kind of forgot. Well, we didn't forget. We kind of left Amber by the wayside. And I believe they're setting Amber up to do the same thing in season 3. She's gonna fall by the wayside. I doubt she'll be in season 3 much. Which, as of recording this video, season 3, the trailer for it came out 2 days ago, I think. Another reason why I kind of got the motivation to make this video. Just kind of talk about my thoughts, because the announcement of season 3 kind of brought everything back to the forefront, my thoughts on season 2. So, here I am, talking once again about season 2. And a common sentiment that I also saw around season 2 when it came out was, just have Mark and Eve get together already, which I agree. They're clearly, right from the start, they're clearly endgame. Even in the comics, it's kind of, not hinted at, but it's kind of implied from that, the tropes kind of standpoint of the boy meets girl, they're going to end up together kind of thing. The comics kind of do that, and the show hasn't really dissuaded that either, which is fine. I do think that it's time Mark and Eve just got together already. I don't remember exactly how much time between Amber's breakup and Mark and Eve getting together. Mark's breakup with Amber and Mark and Eve getting together. I don't remember how much time there is between the two of them in the comics. But I think we can all agree that Mark and Eve just need to get together already. If I remember correctly, in the comics, I don't believe they dragged it out, but they definitely took their time with it, which is one of the few changes I think would have been maybe good for the show. But, well, it is what it is. Hopefully they'll get together in season 3, but otherwise, I guess we'll find out. Moving on. Some things that could use improvement. The first one already. I can confirm the first one already. A split release. A split release was very annoying. I can't remember. I don't remember if there even was ever. I don't remember if there was ever the reasons were ever confirmed for it, but season 3 won't be a split season. They specifically said in the trailer. They had a little note about it, made fun of it, which was really nice. So it's going to be good. We're going to get the full season, just all in one go, which should also help there not be diminished interest, because I feel like there was a bit of a fall off between the first split, for the first release of part 1 of season 2 of Invincible and part 2 of season 2 of Invincible. But that's fixed, so yay. It also means we won't have to wait for the second half, which, who likes waiting for things? Especially when you're half done. And a bit of a complaint. Again, this is titled Some Things That Could Use Improvement. It did feel like the animation in season 2 was a bit worse this season outside of the fights. Things were a bit more still imagey. I think the backgrounds got a little worse. Things were a bit more choppy. Maybe that was just my monitor though, but that's what I felt when I watched it. So hopefully season 3 animation is good just across the board. Now, and this gets into spoiler territory, but I'm worried about some future events in future seasons. Invincible is a very heavy show. It's a very dark show at the end of the day, and some of the stuff in the comics is extremely dark. If you know what I'm talking about and why I've put the character up on screen that I have, then you know, but there's some very dark stuff that happens with her in the future. I don't really want to say it because I'm worried that, YouTube will just take the fact that I've said the word and, well, if they ever find the video, it'll just, cause a ton of problems, and I would rather stop, and not have problems. But I'm worried about some future events and future seasons. It feels like in society in general. This is more of a society worry, um, because I believe there's pressure on the studio to. I did feel like season two held back a bit on the gore, on some of the gore. They panned away from some of the things that I feel like season one showed. And I'm worried that that means that there's going to be more censorship or less visceral imagery and events in the future seasons, or at least, I mean, if season three is the only other season we get, season three. Um, so yeah, can we season two? Like I said, I feel like season two was a bit tamer than season one, and I feel like I really hope that isn't due to like studio meddling or anything, and it's just a creative decision, and that they've still got free reign to do what they want with things. But I guess we will find out. Hopefully, season three is just as gory and violent as season one was. And that's the end of this. I wanted to keep this one nice and short because the last few were really, really long, and also I didn't have as many thoughts about Invincible Season 2 as I did about those, but I still wanted to put them down because I love the Invincible comics. It's one of the few sets of comics I've read all the way through. Bits I didn't like and all. So I really do care about this show, and I really want it to be good. I really want it to be faithful. Um, but I guess only time will tell. So thank you all for listening, and I hope this has maybe got you thinking, like it did me. And I wish you all the best, and have a great day, night, great everything. Goodbye.